We're going to look at the intermediate value theorem for continuous functions and an example. So I'll give you a simple explanation of the intermediate value theorem for continuous functions. So it basically says if you have some continuous graph, let's say from here to here, and it goes from, this y value to this y value, and we have an x value here and an x value here. It says if the function is continuous and we pick some y value that's between our y1 and y2, so let's pick like a y3 in here, and then you can see we could just make a line to represent it. And then what it says is if the function's continuous and it went from y1 to y2 and y3 is in between y1 and y2, then there will be at least one x value, let's call it x3, that will be between x1 and x2. So you have to show that the function is continuous, because that's essential to this working. And then you have to show that you're picking a, let's call it f of c value, and that f of c value is in between, so let me just move it over, your f of a and f of b, where this is your f of a and your f of b, and this is your f of c. And then, so you're saying if, and then you will have a c value that is in between a and b. And this will be your c value, and this is your a and b. Okay, so let's show that. Now, this graph could have crossed, this line a whole bunch of times. Like, let's just have a look. I could have went like this to get to there, right? So it's an at least one, and it also doesn't really find it for us. So we would then have to do more work to actually find the c value. Okay, so let's look at an example. Let's say that, is there any solution to x to the fourth minus 2x minus 3 equals 0 between x equals 0 and x equals 2. Okay, so let's use the intermediate value theorem for continuous functions to show that. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is state that f of x, I'm going to let my f of x be this, and then I want to state that f of x is continuous. It's a polynomial, so it's well behaved. And then my f of c value is equal to 0. So I'm looking for, is there a c such that, so is there an x value such that my y value is equal to 0? And to do that, I just need to show that f of my a value, which is 0, and f of my b value, which is 2, I need to show that those y values are above and below the y value 0. So we can see if we put 0 in, we get minus 3, and if we put 2 in, we get 16 minus 4 minus 3, I think that's 9. Okay, and so now we can say that f of c is in between f of 0 and f of 2. F of x is continuous, so there is a c value in between 0 and 2 for which this is true. Hopefully that was helpful.